got Laurent Gibb from MyThings in the office to explain the evolution of retargeting. Laurent, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
And for those who don't really know about MyThings, can you give us a brief overview of your role there and what the company does?
Yes, so absolutely. So MyThings is a company specializing in personalized retargeting. We're a global company with about 800 advertisers spanning 15 markets. Pretty substantial media buyers. We process about 15 billion bid requests a day. I'm responsible for the media buying across the company, as well as the publisher, RTB, and direct technology.
Okay, excellent. So obviously retargeting is massively dominant in display. It takes a lot of spend across the channel, but it's become a little bit commoditized of late. So let's talk about sort of where sort of traditional retargeting was and the evolution of how it can evolve and what you're doing differently. So let's talk firstly about the old school retargeting.
Yeah, so absolutely. So you know, as you said, retargeting has come from a pretty primitive setup. So when you think of an advertiser, so you're taking a typical merchant, and you're looking at where the traffic comes from. So you've got the traffic. I'll try and draw it in a legible way. So you've got search engine marketing, you've got affiliate, you've got SEO, you've got I don't know, email marketing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you're taking data from the site, so first-party data, such as what products are being viewed, and you're basically looking at the users that don't convert. You're picking them out of the funnel here. And then the way it works is very simple. Retargeters like ourselves work with many top publishers. And what we do is we have a mechanism that allows the publishers to recognize that user. And the publishers call us, and basically, historically, it's been that retargeters just show the last product or the last product set.
Yeah.
You know, pretty
basic stuff.
Yeah, pretty basic. You know, here's your ad, and in fact, you know, some retargeters have done it in a pretty intrusive, pretty spammy way.
Yeah.
Lots of ads. Here you go, trying to get the user to go back to the merchant, to the advertiser's site.
So that still goes on, because I've been chased around by a shoe ad for the last 2 weeks, which is kind of embarrassing. This last product.
Quite annoying.
I'm not buying it, by the way. But let's talk about sort of the evolution of retargeting. What's your approach to it now, and how are you sort of evolving your strategy around retargeting?
So absolutely. So I think we've gone through a few evolutions. So that was the first generation. Second generation was really to create some very basic profiles. So still in a pretty plain vanilla setup.
Yep.
Black box. So you know, industry standard is you've got your prospects, you've got your shoppers who are still in consideration mode, you've got your buyers who are ready to buy, and you've got your customers who've actually made a purchase.
Yeah.
And merchants and advertisers have become a lot more sophisticated, and this was the natural evolution to go down and progress to. So let me explain a bit how we've taken it to the next stage. What we're trying to offer merchants and advertisers is really a white box solution, giving them control over their users in terms of how they buy their users, how they communicate the messaging, and so on.
Yeah.
What we've done is basically created very customized segments, taking all sorts of information which we take into account when we're acquiring that user on the publisher side.
So what kind of information are we talking about?
So we start with looking at the information about the traffic that's come into the merchant site. You know, did the user come in on a very generic search term through a search engine marketing campaign, for example, or did the user come in through a shopping comparison site, or maybe the user came through a review site, so still in the review consideration process. We then take this, which is very plain, simple way of looking at prospects, and we try and enrich that, and we do that with CRM data.
Yeah.
So this is really a very advanced way of working with advertisers. It does take some integration where we plug into their system, and that allows us to see additional information such as, is it a new user? Is it an existing customer? Are they paying cash? Are they paying credit? What is the lifetime value? What was the last AOV and date of purchase? And that allows us to really enrich all of these segments in a very sophisticated way. Then on the media acquisition side, we're working with publishers who also pass us additional information, not on every impression, but a lot of impressions, such as age, such as demographic, such as browsing and navigation. We then also take information such as weather. So believe it or not, weather has a very big impact. People are out in the park having a barbecue, they're not online shopping.
Yeah, buying ice cream.
Yeah, buying ice cream, exactly. Seasonality, very important. Other stuff like events, is it the World Cup, is it Wimbledon, what's going on. So we take into account all this information that could affect their behavior, and we plug it in here. And all this enriched information allows us to buy each user in a very unique way. So people talk a lot about buying the right user and showing them the right content at the right time. Historically, that's not what's been happening. They've just been showing them the last product set. We're trying to create a completely customized user journey, an extension of the CRM data. So in real terms, what does it mean? So for example, if a user has come in on a very generic search engine marketing term and is a new customer, as in has never bought before, and matches maybe the demographics of that merchant, that could be a very, very interesting prospect for that merchant. Right? If they close this user and the user comes back every quarter and spends X amount, that's going to be a very profitable user. So with that information, the merchant may tell us bid very aggressively to reach that user. Whereas, maybe a user's come back to the merchant site through an email marketing campaign. So it's an existing user, the merchant's already paid to acquire that user, and really it's just going to be a buyer. So the margins are going to be much less, and therefore the way we buy the user is going to be totally different.
And the model you've got is pretty flexible as well. You've got you just don't work on a pure CPC basis. You've got CPA, CPM, whatever.
Absolutely. So historically we've done CPA. We've just launched our next generation technology, which is now completely flexible. So CPA, CPC, CPM, and also cost plus. It's really about us fitting in the advertiser's ecosystem, and not us dictating. This is how it is. Take it or leave it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Very good, Laurent. Thanks very much for explaining the evolution of retargeting.
Pleasure.
And that was Trader Talk TV. We'll see you next week.